Hello, second graders. This is Mrs. Murphy, and this is our first remote learning lesson. Our lesson today is our reading lesson, which is Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. Our reading lesson today will focus on learning all about our new unit, which is Unit 3. So in your binder, if you have your Wonders book in the front pocket, you should find your Wonders book and it should say Unit 3. Make sure that you pull that out. And if you ever need to stop or pause a video of Mrs. Murphy's lessons, just go ahead and hit the pause button while you run and grab your Wonders book or your pencil or your assignment. And that way you can watch the lesson and you can complete the work at the same time. Now, today, we're going to learn all about Unit 3, which is called Live and Learn. So if you want to get your Wonders book and open it up to page 176. And then I'm going to close that out of this window and then we're going to get started. Unit 3 is on Live and Learn. The big idea is, what have you learned about the world that surprises you? So all through this unit, each week, we're going to be exploring this big idea. We are going to listen to this poem called Surprises, Surprises. And as we're listening to this poem, I want you to think about the elements of a poem. Look for words that rhyme at the end of the lines and listen for beat or rhythm.
Surprises, surprises. Our world is a jumble of land, sky, and sea. Surprises, surprises are all around me. Boats float on water, balloons float on air. Surprises, surprises are everywhere. A lamp gives us light, and so does the sun. Surprises, surprises for everyone. We're all different sizes, round, thin, short, or tall. Surprises, surprises, some giant, some small. Summer brings sunshine, the winter brings snow. I see surprises wherever I go. Friends can be next door or far away too. Surprises, surprises for me and for you. By Maureen Wong.
All right, that was a great poem to show us how the world can surprise us. So like I said, throughout this unit, I want you to be looking for different ways that the world has surprised you. Now we're going to do our interactive read aloud. And our interactive read aloud is called Apples and Gravity. And the question I want to ask you is, have you ever had questions about the world around us?
Apples and gravity. Have you ever had questions about the world around us? Have you ever wondered why things fall down instead of up? A long time ago, a young man named Isaac Newton did. As he was sitting under an apple tree, an apple fell from the tree. He wondered why. Isaac Newton grew up on a farm in England. When he finished school in the country, he went away to college. After college, he returned to the farm to live with his mother. Isaac wondered about many things he had learned in school. He had learned that the moon travels in a path around Earth. He wondered what kept the moon on its path. Why didn't the moon spin off into outer space? He thought and thought about this. He wondered if Earth were pulling the moon toward it.
On this vocabulary card page, one of our main vocabulary words is college. And college is a school after high school. So once you get done with elementary, you go to middle school, then you go to high school, and then if you want to study more, you will go to college. Now, on this card, I want you to think about, who was Isaac Newton? And then think about, where did he live? So if you said Isaac Newton was a young man who lived a long time ago, you are correct. And he lived in England. Now, the last question I want you to think about is, what was he interested in? If you said he was interested in exploring how things move, for example, like the moon, the sun, and the planets, you are right. So Isaac Newton is known for asking questions and loving to learn. Here is our second card.
One day, Isaac was sitting and thinking under an apple tree on the farm. He saw an apple fall from the tree. He wondered about this too. Why did the apple fall straight down to earth? Why didn't it fall sideways? Why didn't it fall up into the air? Isaac wondered if Earth were pulling the apple down to it after it fell from the tree. He decided that was just what Earth was doing. Then he wondered again if Earth were pulling the moon toward it to keep the moon in orbit on its path. He decided that was just what Earth was doing. Earth was pulling the fallen apple down to it. Earth could also pull the moon around it in an orbit or path. Isaac was excited about this idea. He wanted to give a name to this pull Earth had. He called this pull gravity.
On this card, two key vocabulary words is path, and a path is the line along which something moves. And straight is another vocabulary word, and straight means not crooked or bent. So on this card, we see that Isaac was one day sitting on the farm, and an apple fell straight down to the earth. And Isaac wondered, why did it not fall sideways? And so Isaac began to think, he wondered and began to think about this invisible force that was pulling all the things to the earth. Now I want you to think, what was the name that he gave his idea? If you said gravity, you are correct. We are going to go on to the third card.
Isaac told other people about gravity. He explained that gravity is a pulling force that works across space. Things do not have to touch each other to be pulled. The moon is many miles away from Earth, but Earth has a pull on the moon. Isaac helped people understand many things about space. He explained that the Earth pulls the moon around it along a path. He explained that the sun pulls on Earth and other planets. This pull keeps the planets moving around the sun. On Earth, gravity pulls things toward the center of Earth. This is what makes things fall when they are dropped. If a child drops a book, the book will land on the floor. If a child tosses a ball up in the air, the ball will come back down. When a child jumps, that child will come back down to Earth. No books, balls, or children will float off into space.
On this card, a key vocabulary word is planets, and planets are bodies found in outer space that move around the sun. Not actual people bodies, but like bodies of matter, which we have learned matter is anything that is solid and takes up space. So on this card, Isaac tells the people about the sun and the planets, and then I want you to think, what does he teach them about gravity on Earth? If you said he taught them that gravity pulls things toward the center of the Earth, you are correct. All right, we'll go on to the last card in this interactive read aloud.
Isaac Newton wrote important books that helped people learn about their world. He helped people understand how the sun, moon, and planets move in space. He helped people learn about gravity on Earth, too. People thanked him for helping them to understand the laws of nature. Isaac Newton became a famous man. Statues were made of him. This statue shows Isaac thinking deeply. He is looking down at something while he thinks. What is the object? Yes, an apple. The Queen of England found a special way to thank Isaac Newton. She rewarded him for his hard work by making him a knight.
On this picture, you can see the statue, and way down here by the arrow is the apple. And this over here tells us what the picture is about. And it says, this statue of Isaac Newton is in the Oxford University Museum of Natural History. So Isaac Newton, we have learned, became famous as he wrote many important books, and he helped people learn about our world, and he helped people learn about the sun, the moon, the planets, and outer space. And he also taught them about gravity. And that is why we have that apple there, is because this statue represents Isaac Newton thinking deeply and wondering, why did that apple fall straight down, and why did it not fall sideways? Now, Isaac Newton was rewarded in a special way for his hard work by the Queen of England, made him a knight.